Story time. Last spring, just about this time, we were fostering puppies. I really enjoyed that stage of life. My husband, not so much. So, long story short, we're not fostering puppies anymore. Last September, we had a very, very healthy 10-year-old poodle. In fact, he pretty much only went to the vet for his checkups, health physicals, whatever it's called. And he fell very, very, very ill very quickly last September. He was totally fine. And then one evening he started with kind of a random little cough here and there. And then 2 days later he was much sicker and was at that point refusing to eat. And we took him into the ER, and he was diagnosed with a pretty bad case of pneumonia. And I was told that I could take him home and nurse him, and so I did, and that was my last night with him as we took him into his appointment with his regular vet the following morning. He collapsed on the weight machine and went back on oxygen, and we ended up finding out that he was in sepsis and really, really, really not doing well. So we ended up letting him pass peacefully. And it was such a surprise. And we were fostering puppies at the time. And so we took what I expected to be a permanent break. And then we were, I grieved his loss. I am a person who loves poodles through and through. I've had poodles in my life for, probably 30 plus years. We started with one when I was a child, and then I had one that I adopted on my own at the age of 19, who lived for a very long time. And then when he passed, we brought our Leo into the house. We've been without one now for a while, except for one that we had adopted, and he was aggressive towards one of our other dogs. And so we did the hard thing and brought him back to the shelter. And recently I've been thinking about him quite a bit too. And I'm just, I'm kind of looking at that as more of a foster situation, even though we had adopted him and expected it to be a permanent thing. I still don't quite know why it had to work out that way and why we had to say such an abrupt goodbye to our dog Leo. But long story short, we decided to foster one last time, and I told the shelter that we had about a week that we could foster because we were heading out of town for a quick weekend. And so I brought these 2 puppies in. I was able to name them. That was one of the joys of being a foster mom. I was able to give them what would be called their shelter names. Basically what happens is the shelter gives you a letter of the alphabet and you choose names, and it's such a blast. In fact, I loved cuddling with puppies, but I actually really loved giving them names because I love picking names. So we had 2 pups. They were quite round. They reminded me of the pudgy pup on 101 Dalmatians. And nobody in my family knew. And so when the kids came home and my husband came home, I had told them, I said, so we'll have these guys for about a week. And we're going to love on them and keep them safe as we had with all the other puppies. And my daughter met one of them, and she picked her up. It was 2 girls. And just for the record, before I forget, the letter that we were given was the letter A. So we named one of them Alice and one of them Ada. Long story short, my daughter picked one up and she looked at me. She goes, I am not going to be able to let this one go. This one's going to have to be mine. And as I'm sitting here looking at her, she's not full grown yet, but what is she, about 8 months old? And the whole reason that I started this was so I could show her to you. Oh, there she is. She's definitely not a poodle. She's mixed breed. She's got about 13 different breeds in her. You got a hair on your nose. She's part husky. She's part lab. She's got some hound dogs in her, and she's precious. And the reason I felt the need to come and tell a story is because this is what this girl does. She's got this ability to just press on you and calm you. My daughter would love to train her to be a therapy dog, and I think she's got what it takes. So that's the reason why I started this story in the first place. I still don't have a poodle in my life at the current time, although I do hope that someday, very, very soon, we will. Most likely it will have to be a puppy again, just because of the dynamic of our family. My oldest dog, who is only 3, she does just much better with puppies, bringing them into the house. The 2 girls get along very, very well. They just have 0 issues with each other. And so if we were to bring a poodle into the house, it would probably have to be a puppy, which would mean we'd have 3 dogs in the house for permanent residency until my daughter moves out and takes her pup with her. I can't remember if I told you her name, but her name is Acadia. But for short, which is pretty much all the time, we call her Kada. Anyways, again, she's just cuddling with me. She'll come in and she'll literally lay on top of you and give you kisses, but she's very happy to just snuggle in. And she's a sweet, sweet girl. Miss Kada. Miss Kada. There she is. Hi, honey. You're a good girl. You're such a good girl. Say hello. Let's see if we can get a better view. There she is. She's wagging her tail, just happy as can be. What a sweetheart. She's a sweetheart. Her mama is in the middle of finishing up her program for physical therapist assistant. And since I'm home during the day, I've been trying to just give her a couple minutes of snuggles. But anyways, I don't know. It's crazy to have pets in your house because you get very attached to them. They become a part of the family, and they leave a huge hole in the house when they pass on. And you know, they give a lot of love, and they give a lot of other things. They give a lot of love. Yes, my little piggy girl. She likes to kind of snort and snore a little bit. Yeah, you're a good girl. You're falling asleep. Nothing like having pets in the house. I would have many more, but my husband keeps me in line. I'm limited. I'm limited on the types of pets we can have, but I also think in the same token, he gives quite a bit of patience because I'm pretty sure if he had his choice, we'd have no pets. We have lots of fish in multiple aquariums. We have 2 dogs and a cat. And my daughter has a horse, but he doesn't live at our house. Lots of love to give. That's the bottom line. Got lots of love to give in this world. Have a great day.